I'm CPA Cleophas. Today, I want to talk about a concept in auditing and assurance called going concern. Going concern, ISA 570 talks about going concern. So it's important to understand first what is going concern. So I can define this by saying going concern, it's an assumption. So this is an assumption that an entity will continue with its operations, for foreseeable future. And it has no intention to do what? To liquidate or to stop its operations. So that is a going concern. It's important to understand the going concern concept in auditing and also advanced auditing and assurance. So auditing and assurance, intermediate level, and also advanced auditing and assurance, it's important to understand going concern. So when the company is preparing, or when the management, they are preparing financial statements, they are expected to prepare them on going concern basis, putting in mind, or they should prepare them in a way that the company is going to be in operation for not less than 12 months. That's what we call for foreseeable future. So not less than 12 months. And it's important to understand what are the indicators of going concern, threats. Indicators of going concern problem. So what will show you that a company is facing some going concern problem? What will show you that this company or particular company may collapse or liquidate? One, if it has negative operating cash flows. So we have I can start with first maybe the financial indicators, because you can be taught to talk of financial and operating indicators. So financial indicators. One is negative operating cash flows. Negative operating cash flows or cash flow. Again, if the company is making losses or substantial operating losses, so if the company is making substantial losses, then that's a threat to the going concern of the company. Again, inability to pay salaries, and wages when they are due. On due dates. So inability to pay salaries and wages to the employees on due dates. So if the company cannot pay the employees their salaries when they fall due, another challenge is there. You can also talk of the withdrawal of financial support. Withdrawal of financial support by creditors. Those creditors, those who have been giving you commodities or some items on credit, then they can decide, so far, because of the threats or because this company may not be in a position to pay back, then we are not going to pay or to give them items on credit. So they withdraw their credits, or they withdraw the support from giving you items on credit. It's an indicator of the going concern problem. Also, inability to pay creditors on due dates. So when creditors fall due, then that's another threat. Arrears of dividends, most of the preference dividends, arrears of dividends. So if the company has not been paying the dividends or it has arrears, preference shareholders have not been given their dividends, the dividends are in arrears, it's also another threat. If again default on loan agreements, you are a defaulter. Default on loan agreement. Use of short-term loans to finance long-term projects. Use of short-term loans to finance long-term projects. To finance long-term projects. It's another problem because long-term projects they can be, or you should be financed using the long-term loans. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Those are enough. So you can talk of the operating indicators. So let me have operating indicators. So we have indicators, we have operating indicators. Number one is maybe, for example, if the company is not able to renew or denial of operating license, denial to renew operating license. So if the company has been denied a chance to renew the license, that's an indicator that this company may not be in operation. Also, labor difficulties. If you have issue with the labor, it's another challenge. We also have loss of key staff without prospects of replacement. Without prospects of replacement. Or without the intention to have that employee replaced. So those are some of the indicators of the going concern problem. So those are indicators of going concern problem. And we can also say loss of major markets. An operating indicator, loss of major markets. So if the company ends up losing the major markets, then it's another problem. Can also have high employee turnover. High employee turnover. Employees, they are leaving the company at a very high rates. It's an indication that the company may not be in operation for a long period of time. So those are some of the operating indicators. We have also the maybe changes in legislation adversely affecting the company. Adversely affecting the company. etc. For more information, you can just link up with me. Allow me to talk of the auditor's responsibility for going concern. It's another concept under going concern. Auditor's responsibility for going concern. One of the responsibilities of the auditor with respect to going concern is ascertaining whether the financial statements they are prepared on going concern basis. So I've said auditor should confirm or ascertain whether the company management they are preparing financial statements on going concern basis. So ascertaining whether financial statements are prepared or have been prepared on the going concern basis. I'll use going concern, I'll use the abbreviation GC for going concern. So that's one. Another one, maybe I was just setting up something. So great. So proceed. Also, identifying going concern problems affecting the company, reporting to the shareholders on going concern problems affecting the company. That's when the report is giving a report. Also consider the adequacy of disclosures. For going concern. So those are the auditor's responsibility. Must confirm or ascertain whether financial statements they are prepared on going concern basis. In case he comes across any going concern problem, he should report to the shareholders. So he has that responsibility of identifying the problems of going concern. Then again, consider whether there is adequate disclosure of the information regarding the going concern on the financial statements. Then I want to talk about the audit procedures. Audit procedures for going concern. Which are the procedures auditors should perform with respect to the company's going concern? And for these procedures, let me mention some of them. So one of the thing or the procedure auditors should do, the first thing is should just discuss the financial statements with the management. So let the auditor have a discussion with management regarding the financial statements for any going concern problem to see whether there is any going concern problem. So I've said have a discussion with management to ascertain whether there is any going concern problem in the financial statements. So you discuss the financial statements with management. Another thing the auditor should do, for example, the company is having some loans. So if that company has got some loans with maybe financial institutions, auditor should ascertain whether or determine whether there is breach of the loan agreement or the debenture agreement, because it's a threat, so you must ascertain that. Again, auditor, if he wants to know whether the companies are going concern and there are some procedures he must perform, like inquire from the lawyers of the pending legal cases which may affect the company's ability to continue. So let the auditor talk to the lawyer or consult with the company lawyers on whether there is any case against the company in court which may affect the going concern of the company. Another procedure is also to ascertain whether there is adequate disclosure of the going concern problem on the financial statements. It's again a procedure. You must ascertain whether if the going concern problem is there, or if the going concern is threatened, is there proper disclosure or adequate disclosure of that problem in the financial statements. Also, auditor must ascertain or confirm or determine the effects of the going concern on the truth and fairness of the financial statements. How is the going concern of the company affecting the truth and fairness of the company's financial statements? Something or a procedure to just perform. He can also read the meeting minutes of the board of directors or review the meeting minutes of the board of directors to ascertain whether there is any going concern problem discussed by them in meetings. Because the board of directors, most of the things is the body running the company. So if there is any company's problem on the going concern, then it should be discussed by the board. That's why auditor needs to review those board meeting minutes for going concern problems. Also, auditor should ascertain the effect of going concern problem on the audit report. How is the going concern problems affecting his report? Because if the matter has been disclosed and it is not material, there is the type of opinion auditor should give. If the matter has been disclosed and it is material, again they need to give another opinion. So that is why it is important to understand that what is the effect of the going concern on the report of the auditor. And some things auditor can also give recommendations on how the company can overcome the going concern problems. And also, auditor can also review the post-balance sheet events to see whether there is any that is threatening the company's going concern. So, auditor can review the post-balance sheet events or the subsequent events to ascertain whether there is any that is affecting the going concern of the company. Right, so those are the audit procedures for going concern. And what are the concepts I want to cover? The last one is, how do we report the regard to going concern? Reporting with regard to going concern. And this is what normally happens when the reporting with regard to going concern. So if auditor finds that the going concern assumption is questionable, so if the company auditor has realized that the going concern of this company is questionable, he needs to consider whether that entity has disclosed that matter or the going concern problem. So that is one thing. So I've said, if the first thing when it comes to reporting is to consider whether the going concern is questionable. And if it is questionable, what should the auditor do? So if auditor finds that the going concern is questionable, let me explain that there is one I'm not writing. So if auditor finds out that the going concern of the company is questionable and that the matter has been adequately disclosed in the financial statements, then auditor will give unqualified opinion. But with the emphasis of matter paragraph. So if the going concern is questionable, everything has been disclosed and done very well, auditor needs to tell the management or the shareholders everything is okay by giving unqualified or unmodified opinion with emphasis of matter. And I've said this is if the going concern is questionable and everything has been disclosed, meaning the going concern has been well disclosed in the financial statements. Assuming that there is no disclosure of the going concern, so what should the auditor do? So if the matter has not been disclosed, is not disclosed and it is material, meaning it is significant, having some effects, then auditor should give adverse opinion. Adverse opinion is the worst opinion. So it is questionable. It has not been disclosed, meaning things have not been done the way they should be done. There is no compliance with the standards because the standard requires proper disclosure. So there is no disclosure. The matter is again sensitive or very material. We give the worst opinion. That's adverse opinion. If the matter is not disclosed and it's immaterial, meaning it is not material, and it is immaterial, then auditor will give qualified, which is also called stroke except for opinion. Can also be called what? Modified opinion or except for opinion. So that's what auditor will do. So I'm saying if the matter is not disclosed and it is not material, give except for or the qualified opinion or the modified opinion. So that is the reporting with respect to going concern, which normally can be given 6 months to explain the bits of reporting. How do we mitigate the going concern problem? Ways of mitigating going concern problem. Ways of mitigating going concern problem is what I want to cover. Ways of mitigating going concern problem. Ways of mitigating going concern problem. If there is a problem in the company with respect to going concern, what will you do as the auditor? Number one, debt restructuring. Debt restructuring. That is, you convert the short-term debts to long-term debts. If you are to pay next 2 months, you convert it to 6 months or to 1 year. You pay in the long run. Again, we have cost-cutting measures. Cost-cutting. These are measures like you can have some employees, you lay them off. That is one of the way, e.g. you can have staff reduction. Reduce the number of your staff because of the wage bill. It's a way of solving the problem. You can convert debts to equity. Converting debts to equity. Let those debtors, or not them, but the creditors, you convert them, they become shareholders in the company. If there are some branches making losses, you close them down. Closing down loss-making branches. Can also decide to sell the company assets, liquidating or selling company assets to get at least some cash. You can also negotiate with the lenders, negotiating with the lenders. Like financial institutions for extended credit period. You have for extended credit period. So these are some of the ways of mitigating the going concern problems. And that brings us to the end of today's class or today's concept, going concern. Continue watching to my YouTube channel, guys. And one thing I know, it's have been good having you as my viewer, my subscribers. So may God bless you as you continue watching my channel. You can share with people to watch, and then they'll get assisted. And in case of any challenge in terms of some questions, then just come with me or just give me a call. Give me a call, then we talk. We help each other the way forward. And please, those who are sending questions, it's important to also, if I'm helping you in a question, is at least we have some terms of agreement, because don't send many questions to me expecting to answer them all. please, I can't until we just agree. So please, let's ensure, in case you have sent me some questions, you need some assistance, give me a call, we agree on some terms. So thank you so much. Let's meet in our next class or in our next video.